Once Upon a Time podcast, Season 4, Episode 1, A Tale of Two Sisters. In this episode, scared and confused, Elsa creates a snow monster for protection. Regina wonders if Marion means the end of her happy ever after. Hook is upset to realize Emma seems to be avoiding him. Meanwhile, Anna discovers new information about her parents. I'm your host, Molly Southgate, and with me is...
Martha Southgate.
And...
Rob Southgate.
Okay, this was a fantastic beginning to a new season.
Yeah, so cool.
Huge payoff.
It was exactly what we were waiting for. Yes.
It was fantastic. Well, Hook and Emma, Rumple and Belle. I mean, the payoff was huge all the way around. Let's start with the flashbacks.
Flashback
to Elsa and Anna. So her parents are on it. Their parents are on a ship.
That's who we see first. Now, I was thinking it was Anna at first, but then you said, no, it's her parents.
I watched it, when the first time I watched it, I saw that.
Mm-hmm. You saw that it was her parents?
I thought, no. I thought
it was Anna?
Aunt Anna.
Yeah, so did I.
You called it Anna.
I did.
I
got her right. I got her name right. So, I want to point something out here. Her mom, they're having this huge storm. They're about to crash and go under the sea. And her mom is wearing a tiara. Did you guys notice?
If you're going to go down pretty.
But she had a tiara on. I'm like, how is it staying on, number one? Number two, I don't think I would have taken the time to get a tiara on.
I don't think she put it on. I think it was super glued on there.
Stapled to her head?
Maybe she was born with it.
Oh.
So they're on a ship in a horrible storm.
Right.
Their parents. And she's trying to write the girls a letter to do a message in a bottle.
Yep.
Because they're going down. They know that they're in serious trouble. And she figures
downtown to Chinatown.
It's her last chance so that the girls will know the truth.
Right.
And she says it's the only thing that will save them.
Yes.
What does that mean? We don't know yet. We didn't find out.
No, we didn't find out at all. In fact, that's where a lot of the Elsa story is going to come from, is this moment.
And Anna.
Yes.
So 5 years later, Anna and Elsa are putting flowers on the gravesite. Okay, I have to pause for a moment here. The casting is fantastic.
Yeah, it really is.
Elsa is movie Elsa. Anna,
yes.
Movie Anna.
How about Kristoff?
Sven, movie Sven.
Sven is... They can't do movie Sven because he has this...
Olaf? Not there yet. But Frosty? Movie Frosty.
Yes.
The effects, the costumes.
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah.
I
loved it at the end when, spoiler alert, Anna has...
To the end.
I'm going to punch you out.
Anna has the braids. She has the exact outfit from the movie.
The red with the headband,
pink,
the fluffy.
All the pink and stuff.
Marabou headband.
What's a Marabou headband?
It's a feathery kind
of I thought it was like Marabou Barbie.
What's Marabou Barbie?
I don't know. I wasn't a girl.
You made it up. You weren't?
No, I am now.
So, Anna's getting married.
Yes.
And Elsa...
To Sven? No, to Hans. No, to Kristoff.
To Kristoff. Yes. And Elsa
Who's Hans? Was that the other one in the movie? I've only
seen
the movie twice, and I didn't retain some of this
And
stuff.
they say it about Hans and his dang brothers are mad out there.
Oh, that's where I got Hans from. They mentioned him in this. Okay.
Elsa wanders into Storybrooke.
Yes. Well, she didn't wander in. The way she got there was what we saw at the end of the last season. She was in that vial when the portal was opened and then closed up. That vial ended up in Storybrooke, opened up, and Elsa came out.
But she was outside of Storybrooke and she wandered in.
Right, but it's all Storybrooke.
I win.
It's all Storybrooke.
But she had the sign. She froze it.
She was
and
outside.
And it said, welcome to Storybrooke.
But she was in the enchanted area.
Ish. So she wandered into Storybrooke.
She wandered into the town,
yes.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
And she left a icy trail.
Yes, she did.
She's not very subtle.
She's kind of like a snail.
Gross.
Yeah.
She leaves her little trail everywhere she goes.
Creepy eyeballs sticking out and a big shell on
creepy eyeballs and a snail
big
trail.
Shell on her.
Gross.
Well, she does leave the snail-ish type of trail.
Yes.
Except it's ice.
It's a snail of a trail.
It's an ice of a trail.
Yeah. And I would follow after ice skating.
And fall right
and
on your
die,
head. It's
because
the
I'm not
and
good
it's
at
the
ice
tiniest
skating.
thing. It's like
I'd do it anyway, because I would.
you try and die.
I would try and die.
Yep.
But I would not try to die. I would
No,
just do
I would
it.
ask her to make an ice rink, and she would ride the
She'd be
Zamperla.
fun. I would just be like, Elsa, over here. Freeze this. Hey, Elsa, over here. My drink's a little warm. Could you chill it for me?
So that's who you want to hang with, is the one that can make
Everything cold.
ice. Everything cold.
Until I get tired of it, and then
And you'd be like,
I'm done with her. Then she's dead to me. But I want her
Icy,
to
go away.
just freeze this pond so we could go ice skating in the middle of summer.
No, not a pond.
Why?
I
Why
don't
not a
know.
pond?
Freeze it as tight as you can, then.
As tight as you can.
You seem very offended by the pond thing.
Because I would want to fall in
Yeah, okay.
and get killed.
Okay, well, she'll freeze it as tight as she can.
As hard and strong and tough
Tight!
and tight.
So,
Hey, I didn't know what I was saying.
So Elsa has her mother's wedding dress.
Yes.
This is before, when she was still in
Yes.
their world, their
Arendelle.
kingdom.
Arendelle.
Arendelle.
I'm still getting these names down, so you guys got to bear with me. It's Arendelle.
So
Arendelle.
she gives it to Anna. Crap.
Anna.
Uh-oh.
She gives it to Anna for her wedding, and Elsa says, "I really don't want to have to walk down the aisle with Sven."
Yeah.
And she's like, don't worry, he's not the best man. Who is? Oh no, the trolls? She has to walk down the aisle.
We don't know.
Yeah,
do
we don't know.
Oh, I bet it's going to be Grandpappy. She has to walk down
Oh,
the
that
aisle
would be
with
funny.
Grandpappy.
Or they roll with them.
And she said Kristoff didn't grow up in a barn, and
Well-
she goes, "Well, he did for a little while, but he was raised by trolls.
Yeah.
Like that's supposed
Like,
to
that's
be better."
Uh-huh.
And but didn't Anna look beautiful? Who
Oh,
did you
yeah.
think she looked like when she came up?
Cinderella with orange hair and that Anna hair.
What?
She looked like Cinderella with Anna hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
With an Anna
So
top.
confused.
With an Anna top?
What's on a top?
This is really something's wrong.
Yep.
I mean her head.
Right.
Yep.
With Anna's head on her body, on Cinderella's body.
This
So
is
Elsa
just getting
found
worse.
their mother's diary, and she sees that she thinks their death was all her fault.
Right. And
Yes.
Anna's right. She said that's not what's written here. Like,
Right.
you're reading between the lines. And we know.
Uh-huh, because she
Because
was
of-
reading.
Well, that's what it literally means. Did you sit too close to the microwave or something? What's wrong with you? So
I'm the lab person today.
when I'm the lab person. We'll tighten it up, would you? So we saw that her throw that message in the bottle. That's what's going to fill in the blanks.
Yes.
Whatever that
And-
is.
They were going to see Rumple.
So she knows that diary is back there, and she's like, that if they read that, it's going to be bad. They need to know the truth about something.
Do you think the bottle is going to be in Mr. Gold's shop or wash up on shore?
Wash up on shore. I
I'm
bet
still
Ariel
dark.
shows up with it. Ariel shows up
Why?
with
Oh, okay.
Why did you just do Ariel?
it. Because it's
That's
fun to say,
creepy.
Ariel.
Ah!
He's doing King Triton.
No, that would be Ariel.
Yes, that's King Triton.
Yes.
Ariel is just creepy. You're playing creepy?
Yes.
So Elsa is upset about the diary, and Anna reads it, and she says, Elsa says, because of me they left, and because of me they can't walk you down the aisle tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But Anna doesn't believe that, of
No.
course, because there's so much more that could be.
Right.
And I immediately thought maybe they were going to find you help.
Right.
It wasn't that you were an abomination, or they hated you, or they were escaping you, or anything, but that they were trying to go get you help.
What if it turns out that there was just a curse on them that caused Elsa to be like this, and now they're going to
Regina, we're looking in your general
Rump.
direction.
We're looking
Rump.
in your direction.
Yes!
I'm looking at Regina.
I'm looking at Rump.
There's any number of people that could have put
It
a curse.
involved freezing.
Cora.
That's a Regina thing.
Regina's all about fire.
Yeah. No, I know, but I could see Regina thinking that was pretty fun. Make the kid have to have ice everywhere she goes.
Okay.
If I
That's
was
mean.
Regina, I would do that.
You're mean.
Yeah, she
Oh
is.
man, she was gonna make me have ice powers. Poor dad.
I could have a skating rink whenever I wanted.
I could have a skating rink then.
You could so want it and then never use it. That'd be awesome.
No, you know what I would do? I would make a skating rink And you'd be like, "Oh, sweetie," and I would put up ice walls. Da, 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 da,
Oh, you're
da,
evil.
da,
You
So
wouldn't let
you're
me
even
in?
more evil.
da, 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 da.
You are Cora and Regina. That's what you two are.
You wouldn't let me in?
I'll let you sit in the background.
The background.
I would turn into Regina and melt that place down so fast.
Why?
All right.
And
For
then I'd
obvious
just be
reasons.
standing in the middle of summer on the grass.
Yeah, that'd be no fun. Okay, come on, let's go on with it. I've had enough.
So Anna and Elsa go to the trolls because Anna thinks, of course, they'll be able to help us. They should be able to fill in some of these blanks.
Right.
Yeah.
Did they have to pay a toll when they went to see the trolls?
Yes.
Thank
And,
The
and
troll. When the troll bites and the troll stings.
Grandpappy?
Grandpappy.
Grandpappy?
Yeah.
What's Grandpappy? When have you ever heard Grandpappy? I've heard that. Grandpappy? What is wrong with you two? So what if they go to see the trolls and
They go to see Grandpappy.
and Grandpappy is there, and he tells them that the parents came and asked about Misthaven.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
he said, first he says, "Are you having second thoughts?" And he said, "Don't worry, he won't smell like that forever," which is one of my favorite
Oh,
lines
so
from this
funny.
episode. But he says he doesn't know what they were doing on that voyage, but he knows they were going to Misthaven, and they didn't say why.
Now, we have never heard of Misthaven before. This
No.
is
Never.
a new land as far as we're concerned at this point.
We find out it's...
But I thought the effects
Enchanted Forest.
Yes. I thought the effects for Grandpappy was pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah, with the grass hair and everything.
And I was a little nervous when it showed the rock star. I was like, oh, cool. And then I went, oh, if they animate him, I don't know.
Oh, it's awesome.
But then when he rolled up, I was like, nope, that works.
Fantastic.
I'm into it.
Why did you think that they were going to animate him?
Because
They did.
because it could be, they did animate
They
him.
did. You think they really had a troll pop out of a...
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
I was a little nervous that the rocks would look a little cheesy after everything else was so cool.
Like Gouda?
Yeah, like Gouda.
It's Gouda.
Smells like Gouda.
Monterey Jack?
Who's Gouda?
Cheese.
I want to eat that thing.
I want to eat that troll.
But I was a little nervous about that, and it turned out to be excellent. I thought it was very cool.
Yeah, it
Uh-huh.
was. And so
Once again, looked just like in the movie.
Yeah.
it did. So Anna decides she wants to go to Misthaven, and she said, "I just need 2 weeks, and I'll be right back."
And she said that's what her parents said.
exactly.
Right.
So she's scared. She doesn't want to lose her too.
Well,
Anna
right.
might not be in Storybrooke.
I have a
she
feeling
is. Her necklace
is.
was.
I have a feeling
Her
she's
possessions couldn't have gone without her going.
there. Right.
But maybe she got killed. She's
Oh,
in a
nice.
cell.
She could be
Maybe
in a cell.
Regina's home
Regina.
there for something.
Darn it, Regina!
What?
Another one?
Regina, we're looking in your general direction
Right.
again.
Belle, Sydney.
So
Spoiler alert.
Kristoff and Sven are trying not to tell Elsa where Anna went.
Right.
And
Sven being the reindeer.
she, of course, went to Misthaven.
Right.
And so they go...
Now, this was also good casting. I thought Kristoff, at first, I thought, okay, he looks kind of like him. But from one of the angles, he looks exactly like him from the movie. Like,
Yeah.
that was really kind of wild.
And yeah, no, it's funny. They said he cut his hair. That's why his hair wasn't all crazy.
Right.
They cut his hair for the wedding?
Yeah.
Yes. Because I don't know how they'd pull off that hair and make it not look terrible.
Right.
So this was a good way
That hair
around that.
was terrible.
Yep. Well,
So-
he's not a very clean guy. He's a reindeer man.
Yeah.
But his smell will go after a while.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
But he won't let Elsa stop Anna. And she left Kristoff there so that Elsa wouldn't be alone.
Right.
And so off Anna goes to the Enchanted Forest.
Yes. So that's where we find
I-
out that Misthaven is the Enchanted Forest.
Yeah.
I'm confident that Anna
They were going
is
to
in
Rumple.
Storybrooke.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure she's going to see Rumple because he's the one that's going to pull the magic.
Yes.
Going to the Evil Queen, she doesn't do, or Cora even, they wouldn't do favors.
No.
Whereas he will make a deal and help them out. So that, I have a feeling, is what the parents were doing, and that's the trail she's going to follow. Now, that doesn't mean she's going to find him.
Nope.
Because all this could have happened at the same time that the curse hits. She could get there, the curse hits, and nobody knows who she is.
Yeah.
So Regina comes out of the diner. Oh, my heart is
Uh-huh.
broken in a bazillion pieces for
I
Regina.
feel terrible for Regina. Even though,
Mhm.
to be fair, yes, she's changed. But she's still keeping people locked up.
Okay, well, she has some
She's
issues.
She's
I
still
don't
not
really
completely
like Marion
redeemed.
in it.
I don't either.
She's mean.
Well,
Yeah.
Regina, she's like, she's a monster. Why are you guys talking to her?
Okay, well,
But-
in her defense, though, Regina was going to have her killed.
And she has no
has done
knowledge of
major
the redemption.
atrocities.
Yeah,
Yes.
she has no idea. For her, she literally went from being in a prison where Regina was about to kill her to the next day, the same woman walks up and everyone's like, "Oh, Regina."
Right.
So
So she's thinking, how
And
come
then
you
she
don't
finds
you
out-
even know her?
to her, she who knows how long she was away from Robin Hood?
And
Probably not
she's
very
been
long.
canoodling with her husband and parenting her child.
Right.
She's like, you let her near our child?
Uh-huh.
Right. So that would
Not
be
good.
a huge
Uh-huh.
shocker. So
So I understand Marion, but that doesn't mean I like her.
here's what
and
I
it
think about
doesn't
Marion.
mean I want her in the picture. I want Regina to be happy.
I just didn't like it when she came in.
I agree.
Here's what I think about Marion.
How do you
What?
think about
How
Marion?
do you think?
I don't think Marion is going to get killed. I think that's too easy. I think if she was going to get killed, she would have been killed now. When Frosty was there, she would have been killed, or
Frosty.
something would have happened to cause trouble for Regina.
Yes.
I think Marion's going to snap and go crazy and is going to become a bad guy.
What?
I do.
No way.
I think she is going to turn the other way. I don't think she's going to end up being a sweet character that ends up getting accepted.
But Robin still won't leave. He made a vow.
But something is going to happen with her.
No,
I do.
I don't agree. I
do.
think that
Maybe she'll just go back in time.
Yeah, I think that Regina's going to change time.
Maybe she'll just go back in time and yeah, but Regina doesn't want to do that because if she sends Marion back in time and she's with Robin Hood back then, she won't have Robin Hood now because that wouldn't have happened.
No, she can go back to the day she was supposed to kill her and kill her.
But
It wouldn't change anything.
this is quite the time paradox. This is once again Back to the Future. Isn't everything Back to the Future?
Or
No.
Batman?
Or Batman? See?
Star Wars?
No.
You know what? It's catching on. Everybody's saying it.
Lord of the Rings, right?
Yep.
Yes.
So I don't think that she will go back in time. I think that they've already done that story. Even though she said that's what she's going to do, I think that what she said at the end is what's going to happen, and
Mhm.
she's going to change the story.
I have something
on
funny
Marion.
to say.
I just said that.
Right, but that's Marion's going to end up being a bad guy.
Oh, I don't
You
know.
think so?
I don't
do.
think that's going to change anything for Regina. If Marion becomes a bad guy, that helps Regina in no way because Robin Hood will not leave her
Mhm.
because they are married. He said, "I made a vow,
Right,
and
I have a
all I
code."
have is my code." So no way. I don't. There's
okay,
no
so
way.
what's going to happen?
She's
Regina's
going to go
just-
back in time and she's going to erase
Guess
her.
what?
That's
Okay.
what
I
I
have
think.
something funny to say. We kept saying, "Oh, this is just like the Sisters Grimm." Oh, yeah, this is about kind of that. And no,
It's not.
not even one little tiny.
This is
tiny
completely moved
bit.
away from it at this point, huh?
It was never.
Although it may go back that way because may not be like the Sisters Grimm, but I have a feeling that we're going to have the Grimms show
Oh
up.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, so she comes out of the diner, Regina does, and she's upset. She's so upset, and so
Yes.
am I. And Emma comes out to apologize, and rightly so. Emma didn't mean this in any way.
Right.
She never heard her name. She had no way of knowing that she had anything to do with Robin Hood.
Mhm.
So this is truly not Emma's fault.
Yeah.
Right.
But Regina's not hearing that. And she says, I didn't know who she was.
Yeah.
And Regina says, I'm always a villain, even when I'm not.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And then Emma says, I'm going to help you. And she says, Ms. Swan, the more you try to help, the worse my life becomes.
Oh yeah.
Right.
So then Marion comes out and throws a major freak out.
Yeah, of course.
Why are you guys talking to her? Why
Yeah,
are you
she's
doing
terrible.
this?
And she said, you're together and you let her be with our son and
Right.
all that. I mean, it's pretty bad. I'm not sure that I wouldn't throw a hissy fit if that happened to me, but,
I throw a fissy hit at Marion.
You're going to throw a fissy hit?
what's a fissy hit?
That's what you just said.
I said a hissy fit.
I said a hissy
You said a fissy hit.
fit.
All right. So, Leroy. Leroy's got quite a lot of stuff going on in this episode, but he lets a narcoleptic.
He lets Sleepy, of all the 7 dwarves he could let drive, he lets Sleepy drive.
Yeah, he's like, He makes him the designated driver. Who makes Sleepy the designated driver?
Leroy.
What even is a
Right.
designated?
That means of
that-
all the drivers, you're the one who we pick.
Right.
Mhm.
That means Leroy was probably drinking beer,
Yes.
and he can't drive when he's been drinking, so they get a designated driver, somebody who's going to
Sober.
not drink and will drive.
Who
But
will
he
fall
makes
asleep at the
the
wheel.
narcoleptic the designated driver.
So, so of course Sleepy falls asleep at the wheel, and he's about to hit Elsa.
Right.
Yeah, and Grumpy's like, "Whoa, what are you doing,
Yeah.
Sleepy?"
But
Yep.
Sleepy didn't wake up.
Nope. And she freezes him just before they hit her.
Yeah.
That
Boom.
was pretty cool. She
Boom.
put the whole
So,
front of the car was
all the stuff
nice.
that's happening with Elsa, nobody is seeing. To them, it would look like she's a bad guy.
Like a monster's
who's here?
thing.
Why are things freezing? Who's doing this?
Like a monster.
Right. And then
Like
they.
the ice
But
big
she's
guy.
not.
Well, yeah, when Emma and Hook trapped her, she got nervous, and it created the ice monster, the same one we saw
It's
from
like
the
our
movie.
listener Aaron, thank you Aaron, said that she didn't believe Elsa was going to be a villain, but just misunderstood.
Right.
And that's clearly
And that's
what's
exactly
happened.
what's happening so
So-
far. So, yeah, it creates Big Frosty.
Yep.
Big
And
ol' Frosty.
I like this, too. They did the whole thing, just like when Tiny was in it, and he was, like, rampaging through the streets and pulling down phone wires and stuff.
Who's Tiny?
Who's Tiny?
Anton, the giant.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm
the
so
giant.
sorry. I'm so
And
sorry,
Maybe
Tiny.
you haven't watched this show.
I'm sorry, Tiny.
And
That was about 40 episodes ago. Yeah.
they did that with the snowman, with Frosty, but I like how he just went away. And Emma, it was hard to hear the line, but she said, I think he's scared off by the noise. Like he's not being aggressive to be aggressive. He's being aggressive because he's getting scared or feeling attacked. So that's what he is.
Mhm.
And that's what we saw later when they all tried to attack him.
Yep.
And when Emma did the magic,
Mm-hmm.
and he did the thing like in the movie where he spiked out.
Oh, yeah, that was awesome.
That was fantastic.
And they're
then-
like, yes, he's on our side. Good Frosty. Good Frosty. Boom.
Boom! Yeah.
And just
And
as,
then he got this fangs.
Oh
just
yeah.
as Marion is about to eat it,
Yep.
Regina comes.
Now,
and
was a little bit of you
saves
hoping
them
that
all.
Regina-
yeah,
that Marion was gonna eat it there?
absolutely. That would have made everything so much easier.
I was kind of hoping it too, even though
Didn't happen.
we shouldn't.
You're mean.
I was kind of hoping that he'd step on her. Hey, what's that
Just
stuff?
bite her. Just
What's
bite
that
her
goo
off.
stuck between Big Frosty's toes?
I don't-
Slow Marion.
Yeah! Yeah!
Yeah. So Regina shows up, and at first it looks like she's not gonna help,
Mhm.
but then
Oh, we knew she was gonna.
what does she do,
help.
Mal?
She goes back. She disappears in a puff of purple smoke.
Yes.
What is it with puffs of purple smoke?
That's what
If
she does.
you could make
And
puffs of
she-
purple smoke,
And leave
are
everything?
you telling me you wouldn't do it all day long? I would be making puffs everywhere I went.
You already do, but that's
No,
another
these
story.
are purple and pretty.
Yours are just stinky.
Mine would be pink.
Yours aren't pink. Yours are stinky too.
Hey, if I had that power, they'd be pink. Yours would be black. Where's
All
the
right, I'm
Regina?
having a fissy hit, so let's move on. So Regina uses her firepower, and boom!
Boom!
Big Frosty's big nothing now.
What
He's
the-
blown up,
Big Frosty's big nothing?
and they all see that she saved him.
Uh-huh.
And then Emma tries to approach her, and she's like, "Regina, we got to talk." And then Regina just
Again with the purple.
right.
So Robin Hood shows up at Regina's house before.
Yes,
you
yes.
went
This is before all
the
that.
way,
Well,
yeah.
yeah,
And
it's all out of time. So
it's a tale as old as time.
oh,
That's coming up. Don't
that's coming
you dare!
up.
Don't you dare jump ahead. So he says, "You're like me. I was long ago quite different, and I left the past behind
Yeah.
me." And he said, "You have as well. My feelings for you are real,
Uh-huh.
but Marion is my wife,
Right.
and I made a vow, and I may
And-
be a
oh,
thief, but I have a code."
He's like, I made a vow to death till we part.
Which
But-
gives Regina an idea.
Yeah. Right.
And he's like, and it was broken.
Right.
And
But now it's not.
and now it's not. So he's kind of confused. Like,
Oh, absolutely.
She just
I
came
think
back.
we're all definitely confused.
Yes.
And he says, I hope you can look into your heart and understand. She can't.
No.
She is not understanding.
Nope.
She is not
Nice
accepting
right
this.
now.
Right.
And she broke a mirror with her anger.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And that gave her an idea.
She saw the mirror and she's smiling, and then she goes into a cell. Sydney's in it.
Yes.
She had locked him in the psych ward where she had locked
just like
Belle.
So who else does she have locked up?
She's got people.
Anna.
You think? What reason would she possibly have?
Who knows?
The other one, she had reasons.
I'm
Right.
scared of you. There.
No,
Yeah, who knows?
But she needs his help, so she's going to bring him out now. And she tells Sydney that Marion needs to be removed from the book.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And Sydney says, I knew there was a reason you kept me locked up all these years. You needed me. And she looks at him and goes, right.
Yeah, well, he's so in love with
Yeah.
her. And, And then he's like, well, I can't do I don't have any powers.
Well, and
Here.
it's too obvious. If he
Right.
does anything anyway, it's going to come back
like,
to
you
her.
can't do anything, but he's like,
she can go back in time to
now,
change the events.
only person who's pulled off a time travel spell is
Emma and Zelena.
Zelena. Right.
And Emma. She
Right.
got through it, but
Right. She went through it, but she didn't do the spell. So I don't think Regina's pulling off that spell. Even though they've done it once, I don't think she's pulling it off. But I do think dealing with the author of the book is more likely.
So she puts Sydney back in the mirror, and then she says, mirror, mirror.
on the wall, show me who I want to kill most of all.
Yeah.
And that did not rhyme.
Right.
Nope.
Well, it did.
It did rhyme, actually.
Not really.
But it just was more syllables than you're
Yes.
used to with the other one, she says. And then Regina says, I know who I am and what I want, and right now it's your head on a spike.
Yes.
She says to Marion, and
that's when she was
because
full on
the
evil
mirror
queen.
showed her where in time she has to
Yeah.
go.
That can't feel real good for Regina, especially when she's changed so much to watch it and be like, oh, I was nasty.
Well, no, because she does want her head on a
right,
spike.
she does,
so-
but she also doesn't want to see how horrible she was when she's tried
But
so
she's
hard.
about to go back and do it again.
Yes.
So I guess she wouldn't be that sad. Otherwise, she would go, you know what, I need to find another way.
Yeah, but she didn't allow Frosty to kill Marion.
That's because she was doing that for Robin and
But
for the rest of the
But
town.
that would have made her life a lot easier.
It's called an alibi.
And nobody would have
What's
thought
an alibi?
anything about Regina doing that.
Now if something happens to Marion, she has something to say.
I saved
I
her.
had a chance to kill her before. If I wanted to kill her, I would have let the snowman do it. That's her alibi.
Sure, okay.
So
All right.
to me, that's she needed to do that for future
Right.
reference.
She's got one in the bank now.
And
The bank?
Yeah, that means that she's
She
got
goes
one.
to the bank and she drops that feeling off. There you
Yes.
And
go.
Emma goes to Regina's and talks to her through the door because Regina won't open the door for her. And she says, Henry brought me here to Storybrooke to bring happy endings to everyone. And I'm not stopping until
I've given
finished.
you yours.
And, she says, even you.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So, and then Regina says, the villains never get the happy ending. And I want the writer.
Yeah, she
I wanna
figures out that
find
the
the
book,
writer.
she thinks the book is the reason that
Yeah.
the villains always
She said,
lose.
it's time to change the book. It's time for villains to get their happy endings.
Yeah.
Now, we look at Rumple. We haven't started with his storyline here, but
What would hers be back then? That would be killing Snow White.
Well, no, that's back then. But
her
we're saying
happy
the
ending
ultimate
now
happy ending
is
now.
her being with Robin.
Because her story's not over yet.
Ah.
And as far as Rumple goes,
Rumple's got Belle, but he's got
he's got a problem, and that's why the villains always have a villainous problem.
right.
So, can we talk about Rumpel?
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay, this
Rumpel.
actually about made me cry and scream and
Yep.
wet my pants and
Wow.
and pretty much freak out in every possible way
She just checked every box.
because they turned into Beauty and the Beast.
Yep.
Yeah, he put on the blue
And she had the yellow dress, and then they put on the music.
And he put on the background music. Do, 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 and
yep.
he lit the candle.
He got down and did the worm.
Oh.
And then they got jiggy with it, and then they did
Don't
the chicken
ruin
dance.
It. I'm ignoring you. I'm in my happy place. It was so fantastic.
What if they had cut back and they were doing
Belle
YMCA?
Belle looked amazing.
Uh-huh.
And the dress, the costuming.
And it had the chandelier and everything.
Crazy good.
Yeah, they really did a good job.
You should have made Lumiere.
So Belle had found this mansion, and she said, "This is what we always talk about with Storybrooke, like that these houses are just vacant." And
this was really
this
good.
This house is vacant, and she said no one has claimed it, so we could borrow it for the honeymoon. Wouldn't she take it?
Yeah.
I'd just be going around town going, "Love that architecture. I got this one's." This one's my weekday house. Here's my weekend house. Here's,
So you'd take like 10 houses.
Are you kidding me?
And poor Grumpy has to sleep in his car because of you.
I would let people sleep there, but I just would. I don't understand how they're.
You're Takey the dwarf.
They've got like $50 million in one apartment.
No, she's controlled.
That is true.
You've got Robin Hood and his wife and everybody sleeping out in barely even tents. It's like just this tarp thing over. It's not even enclosed
here's this mansion that could house the whole town.
I don't understand.
So they don't know whose mansion it is.
No.
Mm-hmm.
And they go in and they're like, wow, it's beautiful. I wonder whose this is. And look at this amazing view and everything.
And he freezes her.
He freezes her. And why did he freeze her?
So he could trade out the dagger.
Right. He's saying we can't start this relationship with a lie. I have to trade this out.
First of all, he went to Neil's grave.
Right.
And he asked for strength to give Belle the sword back.
Right.
And,
the dagger. It's not a sword.
He says, your heroism will show me the way.
If it was a sword, it would be giant. Where would he put that?
It's a thing.
It's a dagger.
It's a knife-ish thing.
Knife-ish thing.
And, so when he's at the mansion and he freezes her, he switched the daggers back.
Uh-huh.
Right.
So he has a fake.
Right. And he said this can't start with a lie.
Yeah.
So he does that, but he also, wait a minute, he also
True
notices this thing on the table.
It's very cool.
And it looks kind of like, you know what it looks like is the water bucket from Fantasia that the brooms carried. It's got that kind of a look. Well, no, if you look
it's all jeweled.
It's all jeweled, but the things look like the water bucket size.
Okay.
So I think it's supposed to allude to that, but inside you see stars.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So after they do Rumple and the Beast and they dance around.
Rumple and the Beast. That doesn't make sense.
Rumple is the Beast.
Rumple and the Bell.
Rumple and the bell. Ring my bell.
Can you get to the point?
Ring my bell, ring my bell, ring my bell.
All right.
After that, he goes back after Belle's asleep. He takes the dagger, the real dagger, and he waves it over this thing.
Box.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this thing.
Box.
And a magic hat comes
A
out.
Mickey's
sorcerer's hat.
Sorcerer's hat.
Mickey's hat.
Yeah,
I thought it could have been Merlin.
Yes.
we said Merlin.
I said Merlin.
But you know what? Molly, you're right. It is the sorcerer's hat from Fantasia because it's got the stars in it and everything. So that's not going to be Mickey's place. That's going to be that sorcerer. This big sorcerer guy is there in Storybrooke now. He could end up being, because think about him, he wasn't a real nice guy in The Sorcerer's Apprentice.
He was.
No.
Not Mickey's character.
Right.
The sorcerer.
The sorcerer wasn't.
He made Mickey a slave.
Right. So
Ah.
so he could be our next big bad.
Oh, yeah, and he could come up and, you're a slave, you're a slave, you're a slave.
Turn everybody into brooms.
Do-do,
Yeah.
do-do. And they're going to walk around. Do-do, 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 do-do. The water buckets.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it. Now, let's not get swept up in that.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Oh, yes.
We have to talk about my favorite couple
I thought
right now.
Beauty and the Beast was your favorite.
That was one of my favorite
Regina and
scenes.
Hood, what would be your favorite? Oh, Grumpy and Sleepy.
No. So Emma and Snow are discussing
They're not a couple.
Emma's relationship with Hook.
Yeah.
And Emma says, well, there actually isn't one yet. We haven't established anything. And she said, I haven't told Henry.
Right.
And up walks Hook.
Yeah.
And she's totally avoiding him through
Right.
this whole episode.
Mhm.
And so she pulls him aside and she said, look, there's a crisis, okay?
Right.
There's something going on. And he said, there's always a crisis. Perhaps you should consider living your life during them. Otherwise, you might miss it.
Right. And it's true. And then right then, of course, Grumpy comes running up. We're all going to die. Everybody's freezing to death.
The
That's
town
how Grumpy
crier.
did through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Funny.
So
He's me. Nothing gets in between him and his bacon. He's the town crier.
Yep.
yeah. So Hook and Emma follow the ice path to find Elsa. And that's when Elsa
They're
conjured
following
up
the
the
ice
ice
brick
monster.
road.
Yep.
Yes. And Hook says, aye, that's a new one.
Uh-huh.
About the ice monster.
Yeah,
I thought
right.
that was
They're
so
always
funny.
the same thing.
And so the monster's chasing Hook and Emma, and Grumpy's screaming, "Evil snowman, run!"
Yeah, right.
You know, so
Everybody
his-
run. We're going to die.
But that's when they
course.
realized, I think Emma realized that the noise was scaring it, and it was heading for the forest. And
Right.
that's when so we know what happened after
We know what
that.
happens there. Yeah.
But
Uh-oh. Hook and Emma.
big,
Kiki.
Here it comes.
I said
big.
Kiki.
And we, you know what? We forgot one of a really great line that
Okay.
Regina said when they were killing this, after she killed the snowman. And, after she saved them all, Marion says, maybe you're not a monster. And Regina says, maybe I'm not. Welcome to Storybrooke, Marion.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, it was so well played, sir. Well
Yep.
played, Regina. But Emma, after it's all over with, Emma and Hook are just standing there alone, and Emma asks Hook if he wants to go home and watch Netflix.
Uh-oh.
Yes, and
Yes.
more
We'll,
yes.
we'll order Chinese food, eat it out of the boxes, and watch some
out of
Netflix.
the curtains. Don't
Yep.
call them boxes.
Out of the cartons.
Oh, but he says, I don't know what that is, but sure. Oh my gosh,
Now, what do you think
imagining
they're gonna
them
watch?
sitting
You
and
think
watching.
they're going to binge Once Upon a Time?
They're gonna watch Hook.
Oh, no, they aren't.
They're gonna watch Peter
He doesn't
Pan.
want to see that.
Yes,
No,
he
doesn't
does.
want to
He
see that
wants
'cause
to
he's
see
portrayed
how
as
he's
the bad
portrayed.
guy.
Are you kidding me? He loves that. He's got an ego out of control. He's gonna love it. So she admits that
I think they're
she's
going to watch Buffy.
That would be cool.
They're going to binge watch some Buffy.
She admits that she's
She
avoiding
looks
him.
like Buffy.
And she tries to pawn off and say, oh, I'm upset about Regina. And he knows that's not true.
Yeah, and then he kisses her.
She kissed him,
Yeah.
trying to distract
Kiki.
him.
I said Kiki on accident.
Right. But,
Like, or Kiki's delivery service, or Kiki. or-
right.
So
But she kisses him to let him know.
and asks him to be patient. And he says,
Yes.
I have all the patience in the world, unless a monster appears and kills me.
All right,
When she
please don't be
walks away.
foreshadowing. I want Hook to
Right.
be around.
But that was sort of her way of distracting him.
Yes.
And
Well, she was being honest with him too. Like, I need to deal with this. She just lost Neil. All this stuff has gone on. She just time traveled. She needs a little space, but by kissing him, she's saying, I'm in there with you. Like, this is real. I need to breathe for a second. And she's a commitment phobe anyway, so
totally.
he knows he's got to, okay,
He's
as
got
long
a
as
challenge.
you're not pushing me aside, we're okay.
And Elsa,
Maybe if he changed his clothes.
I know.
Why?
Okay, ew. When he finally peels, those things are gross.
Ugh.
No amount of fan fiction can fix that.
Yeah, gross.
But Elsa's breaking into Mr. Gold's shop, and she found the necklace that she gave Anna. So we know that
yeah.
her possession wouldn't be there
Unless
if
she was there. Unless it came with Rump. But I don't believe that
How?
at all. Well, if he had it already, if he had gotten it before the curse and
So,
everything.
like, if Anna
probably
used it to
made it-
sell it to
yes,
get,
Yes.
to get the information. Which
but
would mean
one
she's
way
not
or
there.
another,
But
he'll know where she is. He'll
but
know
I think
what
she's
happened
there.
to her.
I
do
think she's
too.
there. I think that the possession came with her. And
I
he's
could
got
see
it.
her being friends with Ruby.
Why?
Sure.
I like them. I think they'd be cute little BFFs.
BFFs.
She's teaching her to wear less clothing.
Well,
Like
Ruby?
Belle?
Yeah.
Belle in this episode. Holy cow, the heels.
Yeah. Not a very traditional wedding dress.
Not so.
They're never traditional, Dad.
They are. The one that Anna tried on was very traditional. That was beautiful.
mhm.
So is that it?
Yeah.
Oh my
I
gosh.
loved it.
Can't wait for episode
Loved,
2.
loved,
but
loved.
now we have to wait a whole week for it.
Uh-huh.
What do we
Mommy.
do till then? All right, well, let's wrap it up. Thanks for listening, everybody. You can find past episodes of this and all of our podcasts, as well as links to our social media at our website, which is...
www.southgatemediagroup.com.
And also keep
And
in
that's
mind...
media.
Yes, keep in mind, we have a new Twitter handle. We are live tweeting during Once Upon a Time. Please join us.
Central Time.
Yes.
Central. We have to.
We podcast during, or we live tweet during Central Time. Our Twitter handle is @EverAfterPod. And Martha, you tweet from
@SMGPods.
And I tweet from.
No.
You tweet from you're in bed.
No, she sits and watches the show.
Yeah.
Right.
But she doesn't.
But there's no tweeting. Just a lot of chirping coming from her. So get in there with us and communicate with us. We had a lot of fun live tweeting this first episode, and we will have a lot more going forward. Please find us on iTunes and Stitcher and Player FM and TuneIn Radio. Rate us, review us. It helps people find the show, and it helps us, with our show in general. Also, we've had people writing to us on Facebook, which is a lot of fun, and you can send us an email at southgatemediagroup@gmail.com. That is it. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. Now let's end this the way every great fairy tale ends.
Happily ever after.
The end. If you would like to donate to help pay for this and other Southgate Media Group podcasts, simply go to our website, southgatemediagroup.com, and click on the donate button. It can be as little as $1 or, well, as much as you want. Help keep this fun going by supporting this and our other shows. Thanks again for listening, everyone. You're the best fans in the world.